You're watching All Stars Base, Best African Entertainment. Stay there, go nowhere.
Hi guys, welcome to All Stars Base with your girl Ella Petit, the queer princess. It's another beautiful day. Oh my god, I can't actually wait to start up this show. Okay, before we do that, let's welcome our guests. Two guests right here in the studio, and I have one other guest not in the studio. So the first guest in the studio this afternoon, or good evening, it's my beautiful, elegant, sexy, I don't want to call her name the wrong way, Christiana. Oh, I got it right. Yay, Christiana.
Thank you for having me
Again.
again.
Last week was amazing.
I love being here, so
Thank you so much for joining me. And we have one of the best DJ. I was going to say baddest DJ, but I had to rephrase it because there's nothing good and bad. So the best DJ in town, DJ Mind the Gap.
Not the best DJ. I'm just Mind the Gap, not the best.
Okay, so why can you not be the best DJ?
Yeah.
You don't want to be the best?
No one can be the best.
Okay.
You can only be the current champion, but never the best.
But you can be the best of yourself.
I'm unique. I just want to be addressed as the most unique.
Okay, he's the most unique DJ. DJ Mind the Gap. Thank you so much for coming. And I have another guest who is going to be joining us right now as well. He's a gospel singer, very talented gospel singer. He's a blessed guy. He's called Dixon. Dixon, thank you so much for joining All Stars Base. Thank you for joining us again today. Hope you can hear me.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
I love your heart. You look like somebody that is going to dance disco, like, or what's it called?
Oh boy, I just used to say cover my head though.
How do you say his last name?
Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Michael
You kind of look
Jackson,
like
yeah,
him
MJ.
today.
Oh, thank you. That's a compliment.
It is a compliment. I like the heart. Okay, thank you for joining us. Today's topic is very broad, and I've actually decided to play around it a bit. So we're talking about relationship. And please be honest, don't play games. It's not a platform where you try to sweet coat something. Be raw, okay? If you can be, or be whatever you how you want to say it, and it's always welcome. So the first point I want to talk about is sex spiritual? We're talking about relationship. Is sex spiritual? Now, for those people who are Christian like me, we know what we believe when it comes to the word sex. And for those people who are not Christian as well, I don't know what your belief is. I don't know if you're a Christian or you're Muslim, but whatever it is, well, I just want to know, is sex spiritual? Let's start with you know, the funny bit is that Christiana is actually forwarding the hand to Mind the Gap to start up the show. And Mind the Gap is so serious that it's like, no, now. You know, let's give it to our brother Dixon, because I think he has a lot to talk about when it comes to this particular point. Is sex spiritual? Dixon, please, can you tell us, is sex spiritual in your own time?
Thank you. Good evening, viewers. It's sex. It has a little bit of spirituality in it. but
Okay.
not the way we portray sex to look like. If you hear some preachers tell you, if you have, for example, if you have sex in the dream, that means, somebody has collected something from you, or taken your destiny, or has locked your destiny, or something like that, which I I oppose that term, because when you come
Can
to
you please tune the
spirituality.
volume up a bit because we can hardly hear him. Want to actually digest what he's saying. Not you, Dixon. It's from the studio.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. So when you talk about spirituality, remember, in spiritual realm there is only um, two ways, or two life in spirituality. When you have the spirit of God and the spirit of, the devil,
Yeah.
obviously. So I don't think devil, or God has that time to be looking at those that are committing fornication in the spiritual realm. And when you talk about, spiritual realm, some people might be thinking, like I said, when you have sex in the dream, all right, or when you, because the only thing the Bible said about that, his Bible says that when you lay with a prostitute, you are the same with the prostitute, and when you, lay with faith, or with the spirit of God, you are the same with the spirit of God. You understand? That's why I said it has a little bit atom of spirituality in it, but not the way we make it look as if, it's a very bad thing.
Okay. There's a saying that says that if you sleep with somebody, you tend to act like the person. So maybe that's why they're saying it's spiritual. So if I was to lay with a man, I begin to act like the man. Do you agree with
But not
that?
just laying once with a man, not just laying once with
So
a
it's a
man. It has to
continuous
do with the
process.
longevity of it. Yes.
Okay.
You understand? It has to do, like, if you look at so many couples today, all right, you realize that the husband or the wife started having the same resemblance with the husband, or, it goes that way. It's just because they've spent a lot of time together. So it's not necessarily when you sleep with someone immediately, you understand, start, acquiring what that person has.
Okay. Mind, what do you think?
Personally, I believe, yes, sex can be spiritual, and the reason why I think it's spiritual is because apart from our self being, every one of us have a spirit attached to us,
Yeah.
and it could be a positive or negative spirit, depending. And what now happens is that from our belief, yeah, and from what I experience, because as a man, you could sleep with a girl today, and you realize that from that moment you slept with that girl, things started going backward or forward. Now, what happened is that it's not the girl that is the problem, but it might have a spirit that does not agree with your spirit. And once you go into that together, so I tends to do that. When I was younger, I tends to check myself. If, let's say, everything was just rolling and something just happened unexpected, the first thing I need to ask myself was, who was the last girl I've been with?
Okay.
And that tells me, it might be a mythology, but I just believe there's an attachment to it. And the only way you can tell, you never can tell because it's not written on the face. The only way you can tell is that how smooth things are with you or bad. And in some cases, things might even be going bad. You might not know. So what I think is even better to be very careful about who you sleep with and who you lay with as well. Really important.
Okay. Oh, Christina.
Yeah, I believe sex is spiritual because, like you said, everyone has their own spirits that obviously abides in them. You know, like where does the Holy Spirit come from and all those things. So I would say that that when people ask you, when you're dating someone say, oh, like, what's your body count and things like, it's all in that process, because sex is spiritual in the sense that when you now are having sexual intercourse with someone, you're not just like exchanging like body fluids, you're actually like connecting your spirits together.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual thing.
Okay, so let me break it down. So if you're saying that sex is spiritual, now look at it in this our day and age. how many men do we sleep with, or how many women do men sleep with? So are you trying to tell me now that every woman or man that somebody sleeps with, there's a spirit that's entered the person?
Well, you have connected. The moment you have sex with someone, you have actually connected with the person. Now, what happens afterwards, I think, depends on personal actions. That's just my own point of view. And what your relationship is with, with God. Because some people, they have been with someone where it's affected their life positively or negatively, but they can't really tell the difference because they just don't have that spiritual relationship. They don't have that spiritual growth to understand that something has changed in their lives. So yeah.
All right, so it simply means that we should not be sleeping around then.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
You shouldn't,
because
really.
If it's spiritual and it's not just a physical look, I can see Mind the Gap looking on fleek and he admires me and we fall into place. Now, me sleeping with him can be damaging because I might have a spirit that is not good for him. As he said he might have maybe had a relationship with somebody whose spirit is not good and his spirit is good, and when they come together, there's this negative thing that will come with
but
it.
Just to add to that, logically, I'm thinking, because it doesn't mean because you've slept with someone, you are doomed.
Okay.
Yeah? Now, I think what happens is that, as we were saying in science, that this change is a necessity, you know what I mean? And the change will come. If I've slept with you, in as much as it's not a continuous thing,
Okay.
obviously things could go back to normal. That's what I'm thinking. And that's why if you make a mistake, in life, every mistake can be corrected.
Yes.
So I don't think it's a light thing that has to go unless someone has actually placed a curse. The
Correct.
spirit has placed a curse in you.
Mr. Dixon, are you there? Because there's something you said just now. I want to see what Dixon thinks about it. Because if you just said to me now that if you do something, you can reverse it. So if you have an affair with somebody who has a spiritual problem or whatever, you stop it, it will just go. Mr. Dixon, is that right that if you have an affair with somebody who has spiritual whatever, and you're no longer having the affair, would that spirit in you just disappear? Or do you have to go spiritual way as well to remove that spirit that's in you?
Before we really talk about spirituality, I want us to understand something. When you talk about spirituality, you're talking about the higher being.
Yes.
All right. And the higher being, I don't think, they will leave all their accessory duties, you understand, and engage in, fornication. Let's go back to the basics. The Bible that you and I believe in, all right? God made sex for procreation, all right, for people to be productive, all right, so that we can have our kind still in existence in this planet Earth, because we have flesh. That's where I'm coming from. I'm not saying what they are saying is wrong. It's what they are saying is true, but I would like us to understand the fact that when you talk about spirituality, I don't think there's a room for sex. You understand? Because when you're spiritually minded, to start with, according to the scriptures that we read, when you're spiritually minded, you will not fulfill the desires of the flesh. You understand? So sex has more to do with physicality. You understand? I get it, where we are coming from. Any little thing we want to attach it to a spirit or make it spiritual. You understand? It's not biblical. You will not find it in the Bible where Bible says sex is a spiritual thing. You understand? The only thing that the Bible says, like I said when I started, is when you lay with a prostitute, you become one with the prostitute. You understand? It didn't say when you lay with a prostitute. Okay, let me ask this question. In the olden days, in the Old Testament, you understand, people used to have like 500 wives, 300 wives. Solomon had 1,000, all right, to start with. So does it mean all those 1,000 women he had sexual intercourse with, he contacted a spiritual demise, or a spiritual attachment that wanted to steal what God has already deposited in him? And for the record, Solomon still remained the wisest king that has ever lived.
Okay.
You understand? That's where I'm coming
just
from.
Just to sorry to add quite disagree with you in the sense that when you say sex is not spiritual, it's only physical. But can you see sexual attraction? No, we can't see it. If I'm interested in having sex with someone, you can't see it on my face unless you want to. It's something that is being conceived in the mind and is the spirit. And you see people that when they say they meet as well, they get connected. There's a chemistry. And I think this is where something that we can't see. And you mentioning about people like Solomon and all of that they've been doing this. Do you know that everybody has one problem or the other, no matter how successful they are? You never could tell what part of Solomon it is. What the Bible has said to us that we go by, but we don't know the whole A to Z genesis of Solomon's life. He has so many concubines, and at the end of the day, if I'm still on track, probably is it Solomon that they said probably used a sorcerer or a witch that went to consult a witch and all that. Now these are things. When we talk about someone going backward, it has to do with a lot of things. It's not just you losing your job. It's not just you losing a kid. It's not just you dying or missing opportunity. It could just be, you might be spiritual. You might be a strong pastor. You might be someone that is naturally spiritual. And the moment you sleep with a girl, you find out that your spiritual life just go down. You're not as strong as you used because it's a soul thing. It's very soulful. We can't see it. We can only see, the only thing we see is when the two comes together and become physical. But when they agree, it is something that is conceived that you don't even see. So that's why I don't think sex is just physical. I think it's spiritual.
Okay.
If you listen to me very well, I didn't rule it out completely. I'm just saying that at the end of the way we make it look as if it is the ultimate in the spiritual realm. You understand? Like you rightly said about the people in the old. You understand? Where I lay my own basis, we talked about attraction, being attractive for a woman. Those things are human nature. All right. And when you talk about sex is is a sin. All right. If you have sex with someone that you're not married with, and when you talk about
it's a sin. Is it? We have to talk.
Listen to what I said. I said if you have sex with someone that you're not married to. All right, that's what I said. If you listen to me, I said if you have sex with someone you're not married to.
You talk about fornication.
It can be it's sex. It's sex. Fornication is just you having sex with someone that you are not married to. So it's still sex. You understand? So in that line, you understand that all these things that we talk about is a nature, and righteousness is a nature. All right. And when you are doing, I'm answering you because you said when a man of God lays with someone that he's not married to, or a sister in the church. I just want to correct that impression. A man of God can have sex outside marriage, but that doesn't mean that the Spirit of God leaves him immediately. All right. The only way by which the Spirit of God can leave that person if the person continues in that line. You understand? That was what I said. That
I didn't even mention. I didn't say that the Spirit of God leaves the person. I said they might start getting weak if they're strong. They might start. Maybe it's someone that will wake up very early in the morning and pray and bind, have the energy. But because if you look, let me give you another example. Is a man. Why come when men sleep with women, they feel tired at the end of the day and they have to sleep? To the point that their body has gone down. It shows that energy is out of them.
Yes.
And according to what we've been told is that from maybe like they said that when men sleeps like that's how God wants it to be, so that they can sleep, then the energy of what they've lost will be replaced back. And that process is a process that we don't even see. You understand? So I'm not saying that the Spirit of God will leave, but it could make someone to be weak and you're not as strong as you are. For example, in the Bible as well, we have the story of Samson. The moment, every time he is around Delilah, he's weak. To the point that Delilah could have a control. And one more thing I want to talk about sex. They said love. God commanded sex. And sometimes if we want to say sex as well, we could say we're making love. You know what I mean? Love is God. Can we see God? We can't see God. So which tells us that it's a spiritual thing.
What you just said. First of all, this is why I said in the beginning that it is depending on your action afterwards and how strong you are, your relationship is with God, and speaking about spiritual growth as well, it is the actions that you take that decides what happens after. It doesn't mean that you haven't connected spiritually. And another thing I wanted to bring up is the fact that he mentioned something to do with sex being a sin. Sex is not a sin. What is when you come out of your relationship with your partner, is fornication and adultery. That is a sin. When a man and a woman join and as husband and wife and they make love, it is not a sin. That is actually what is supposed to happen. But when you go outside your marriage, you haven't even married the person. It's not let's say for people that have 2 wives, 3 wives, etc. That's another completely different thing. But, so if whether they're having sex or not, it's still within their marriage under the rights of that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go out of that and maybe sleep with someone that you haven't married, or you have a partner and you're sleeping with somebody else's partner, which is fornication and adultery, then that is when it is a sin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask a question because I've been digesting so many things that's been coming in place just now. Who is a prostitute? Because he made mention of somebody who sleeps around. So who is a prostitute?
I think a prostitute, that's a very
please, yes, let's break it down. Who is a prostitute?
A prostitute simply means someone that takes money, that gives sex in return for money.
Are you sure that's what prostitute is?
Really and truly.
Wait 1 second. Your definition of prostitute is someone who trade by barter, sex and money.
Yeah.
And what is prostitution to you?
Well, then that's what the original meaning of prostitution is.
So
when you exchange your body for money, when you exchange sex, for money, that's what it is. That's when it's prostitution. Yeah.
Okay, so someone who sleeps around without taking money, what's that?
A charity.
But that doesn't make her, because they're not a real prostitute. No, but she might not. What's she getting? She's not getting anything in return. It just means she's loose.
No,
but she's not a prostitute, though.
Can we break something down now? You know what trade by barter is? Yes. Right. You know what trade by barter is.
Yes.
Now, if I'm a female who wants something, I want sex, and I don't need your money. Okay, maybe I want sex and you can look after me other ways. What is that? Because if you're saying that sex is money, and there are some people who do not want money, so I give you sex, you give me money, but the person does not want money. They need the sex.
What do they want?
They need sex.
They just want sex from you, pleasure.
There are people who want sex, and they're not after your money. Okay, look at
that's not the original. That's not the original meaning.
Are you listening to yourself? Yeah. Number one, yeah.
Yes.
You're talking about trade by barter. Like you want sex and someone give it to you. Come, separate man, woman, and put sex here. These are three entities. Yeah.
Yes.
For people to go and make sex, they both agree to go on the sex. Yeah? So what I'm saying is that it can be prostitution if this man wants to have sex as well, and this woman wants to have sex. So there's nothing they're exchanging. They're just two people that have the same thing in common, and they want to do it.
Wait, you're not getting the point. You're talking about one person. So if one person, let me finish. This is a man here. This is a woman.
Yeah.
She gives this man, she gives this man, she gives this man, she gives this man. What do you call that woman who is not asking for money but wants sex? What do you call them?
What do you call a man?
Yes.
Wait, what do you call a man that gives this woman and gives this woman?
You've not answered me. It's the same thing.
I think in the Bible, you need to understand one thing.
We're saying the same thing. You're not answer the question. You call them harlot. They're not prostitutes. They're harlot. Harlot is prostitute. That's what it is. It's the same thing.
Taking money. No. It is when money is involved.
It becomes prostitute.
It becomes prostitution.
Because they have to.
Come on, let's check.
So material. It doesn't even have to be money. As long as it's anything that is material.
That's the word I want you to say.
Yeah.
Because you keep saying there's some money.
As well.
No, say if it's material, you don't see material, right? There is no evidence to material, but there's
What
an evidence.
material are you talking about?
Like material things, they want.
That's
they
what
might
we're
not want
saying.
money, but they want like a sugar daddy
in the olden
you know, it's
days,
some sort of prostitution.
but in the olden
I
days there
get
was no
it.
money. So anything that you take in exchange, let's keep it
Topic is
simple.
interesting.
Let's keep it simple.
Yes.
Anything that you take in return to give your body to someone,
Is prostitution.
That is prostitution.
Thank you. So it simply means that if you give yourself to your woman, and you get something else in return, you a prostitute.
Yes, agreed.
Okay, that means all of us are prostitutes.
No, but I don't do that. Do you do that? Do you
all-
give yourself to get something?
No, I'm married. I'm not in there.
No,
I'm not in there.
No,
I'm out
you're
of
talking
it.
about
I think we've
women.
taken this
Let me tell you
thing out of
something.
context.
No, we're not. We're still in it.
Why I would never imagine that I need, because I want to get something from my woman, that I need to sleep with them. How does that work?
No, not you. We're just breaking
No,
it
no,
down.
I'm just thinking anyone who would think about that.
Look at it this way: baby mothers,
Yeah,
or rich women,
yeah.
people who have money,
That's
and you
prostitution.
have.
Because you're doing this in exchange for something. You are not doing it because you want to do it.
No, wait, can I just break something down?
Okay.
Yeah, there's some people, I know lots of men, who are dating older women, and they don't have just one woman. They have women, different women that they're sleeping around because they need money.
Yeah.
So those are prostitution, right?
Yes,
the guy
yes.
is doing prostitution.
Yeah, gigolo.
Now, if you're a female and you have boyfriend and you still have another boyfriend outside your boyfriend, or you're seeing other boyfriends because you're single, you're searching, so
Yeah.
you're looking around.
Yeah.
What do you call that?
Yeah, maybe we are.
I just want to know
Maybe what we
what.
are missing, we need to check what that means in dictionary because we're Africans.
And a
but we
man
don't know
as
the
well
English
who
word.
has different girlfriends, what do you call that man?
They're just loose.
You can't call them loose.
Okay, you answer the question there. I don't know.
No, I'm the one interrogating.
They're just loose
Okay,
men and
Mr.
women
Dixon.
looking for sex.
What?
Hello?
So we can call them harlots.
Hello?
then. Because if you cannot call them prostitutes, you have to call them, there must be a name. They're not loose. You can just call them loose.
Yeah,
Listen,
Mr.
let's
Dixon
hear
can
from
tell
you.
us. Mr.
Can I
Dixon
come in
can-
here?
Can tell us or check dictionary.
I don't get dictionary here. I just want to clarify two things before I answer that. One is when I said sex as a sin, I meant people that are not married. That was what I said.
Oh, that's
so
what he said, yes.
it's not. I'm not talking about married people. I get that. And secondly, my brother mentioned that love, when you love someone and you are attracted and you want to, sleep with the person, God is involved in sort of way that because God is love. I just want to clarify that the love God is agape love. It's different from what you and I experience every day. All right, so that's the difference.
I think you got
And
me
coming
wrong.
back to-
You got me wrong there. What I was saying is that like people use the terminology that I'm making
Yeah.
love to my wife. Okay, let's say the legal way of having sex. If you're making love to your wife, you say I'm making
Yeah.
love. I'm not having sex with my.
yes.
So that was why I linked
Yeah, I
it
get that.
That means God is love and love is God. You
Yeah,
understand? Not
that's
just
what I'm
general
saying.
sex.
The love God is quite different.
Okay.
Is way totally different from what we as humans experience or portray love as.
So that different
Then
kind of
coming
love
back
then.
Yeah,
to
there has to be a kind of love.
yeah, there are lots of different kind of love, but in those love that you know their meanings, there is none like agape love. You understand? That's why even dictionary says this is God's kind of love. All right, love that doesn't ask for anything, that doesn't expect
condition
nothing
to it.
from anyone, whether it's just like when you're married or when you have your girlfriend. You understand? It's hard for you to tell me that you don't expect nothing from them. It's hard, regardless, even your family members. So that's why I just want to clarify that one. And going further, we're now talking about who is a prostitute and who is not a prostitute. Well, if you ask me that one, oh boy, what I would say is we just have to go back to the basics. All right, the reason why God created Adam and Eve, all right, is for companionship, is for them to go create and help each other
Mr.
and
Dixon,
support
we need
each
to
other.
see your face, okay, if possible. Because we can hardly see your face. Yes.
You can
Thank
see my
you.
face now.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. And if you're like if you have a boyfriend, all right, when you go to your boyfriend or your boyfriend come to you, that's prostitution, a form of prostitution. If you ask me, you understand, because you are not legally married.
Thank you.
If you're legally married, you can do whatever you want.
That's the point.
You
So
understand?
what you say?
So
Okay, that's
at the-
We are
prostitution.
all
What are they getting from each other?
Let me tell
Yeah,
you, in as
you're-
much as you're sleeping around, you're
Because
not legally
even-
married
even
to
when you
anybody,
don't feel-
you are a
Because-
I
prostitute.
think, you know what? I think what we solve this problem is that if anyone's got a dictionary, what is prostitution?
No. That's
Are we talking about
prostitution
English?
is where,
No,
where
it's true.
Unless
when
you have a
you
different word,
when
we
you
need to understand
okay, let me
because we
can
don't
I
want to
answer
be
that a little bit?
misled,
Can-
yeah? So how is what is saying might be
Prostitution
right,
is-
but I wouldn't
Yeah.
totally
No, but-
agree that we should use the word prostitution for that.
No, what we're
Unless-
saying, no, we're actually putting two things together here.
Yeah.
We're putting the Bible and we're putting the word. Now, when you look
Yeah.
at the word we're living in, prostitution is actually different from what the Bible is saying. Now, the Bible says when you're
Quote the
single,
Bible and tell us where Bible to talk about prostitution and how you
I
explain
will-
it.
Let
it
me
was
break
it was
down for you
Paul.
now,
It was
okay?
Paul that was writing. Paul
Use the
said.
Bible verse, Judah. Don't just say
I have
something.
to know.
Prostitution
Paul
is
said,
a
no,
profession.
Ella is right. Ella is right.
see,
Paul said,
Mr. Dixon, let me finish so that you understand
Yeah.
my point.
Okay.
See, we are not supposed to be sleeping around if you're not married. The Bible
Agreed.
says, "He that findeth who a woman findeth a good thing and obtain favor." So the moment you find your wife, you're not even supposed to sleep with her until you've actually married. After the marriage, you can now go to bed and do whatever you want to do. Now, whatever you're doing, if when you're not married, you're a prostitute. Because you're not just sleeping with one person. Medical, if I ask you now, how many women have you slept with since you started having sex? You cannot even count them.
I didn't even tell you I've been having sex.
Okay, whatever. But I'm just saying, even this lady here, if I ask Christiana, how many men have you slept with? How many men have you slept with since you started having sex? She
I can
cannot
count
tell
them,
me
they're
one.
just saying.
No, but you're not going to tell me one or two. You know that it's not one or two. Since you're born, since you started having sex, it's only two guys. Okay, let's just take it. You're still a prostitute because one.
No, how about you? How many guys?
I was a prostitute.
Okay.
Yes, I was a prostitute. It's just the truth. Because at that time I was not married. I was actually not listening to the word of God. I was not following the
So
principle
yours
of
is more
Christ.
than one or two
Of
guys?
course, I've had more than one guys. Come on now, come on.
Okay.
Mr. Dixie, we're listening to you now. But it's true. We are all prostitutes. In as much as you're not legally married and you're sleeping around with different men, whether at the same time or after you broke up with this one, you went to another one, you are a prostitute. Whether you
But
put
isn't there another word that
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Because at the time when you're seeing this man, can I ask you a question? At the time when you're singing a man, yeah, sex is involved. He's looking after you the other way around. Either he's paying your school fees, he's buying your clothes.
see
There's still a trade by barter going on.
Sex with benefit.
So, yeah, sex, it's friends with
Okay,
benefits.
friends.
Do you understand?
It's
There's
still
still,
the same
you're
now.
saying a harlot takes money for sex. Yes, that's what you're saying. A harlot takes money for
Jesus
sex.
Christ.
Money, this is-
Well,
everything-
Ella,
let me-
But did
Ella,
you
let
take
me-
something from your boyfriend when you're dating him?
But not at the point of sex.
Yeah, true.
No, excuse me. Haven't you ever asked your boyfriend after sex, baby, you know the money I asked
Okay,
for
But
can
that's
I
you?
just
after
say-
sex, after.
Oh, before sex as well.
Can I
Babe, I'm
just
not going
say-
to give you sex until you
Excuse
Then
give
me.
me that
prostitution,
money.
that's prostitution.
Excuse me. Hello. I haven't.
Okay, somebody you know
you guys are cracking me up.
all of them have done it.
I
You
just
try to
haven't.
move.
I actually haven't. So maybe because I don't have the experience, as you know.
All right, but the truth of the matter is this. Oh,
I'm just saying.
Mr. Dixon, let's hear from you.
About what?
You
You are lost.
Okay.
We're talking
Okay.
about prostitution now.
No.
Because she's saying
Yeah,
that they're saying that prostitution here, it's when you get something in return. So I'm now saying to them that, okay, when you are dating your boyfriend or the guy is dating the woman, somehow you took something. Either you did not take physical money or he took his shopping.
Yeah,
or he paid
obviously,
for something.
there's always there's always a reward after that. It might not be instantly. You understand?
Thank you.
Because at the end of the day, come on, he is your boyfriend. All right, and you might have some issues that nobody in your family wants to help you out anyway, but because you know you're servicing this guy, that's why at the end of the day, if the guy break up with the girl will start telling us, oh, after all I've done for you, after all the food I went and
It's
cooked in your
true.
house. You understand my point? Okay, you understand. But when you talk about married couples sometimes, even when they don't feel like it, but because I'm married to this guy, since he wants it, let me give it to him. You understand? And it goes the other way around as well. You understand? You might not be in the mood. You understand? But when your woman wants it, you give it to her because it belongs to her. You understand my point? So, and let me chip this one in as well. I know the little bit of confusion we are having now is when it becomes a profession. You understand? When it
Thank
becomes a
you.
profession, this girl now becomes a well-known prostitute. And if you look at what's happening in our society today, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Go on Instagram, go on Facebook. Girls now, everybody's showcasing backside, front side,
Mr.
and come
Dixon, one
on,
question for you. You know when you
yeah,
say prostitution and you link
yeah.
to Instagram. So I want to ask you a question. When you now see somebody, for example, we can't judge them because we don't know what it's doing. But if you see someone on Instagram who is always showing her breasts, maybe
Mm.
the stuff is down there and she's just doing a video of her breasts all the time, would you classify that person as a prostitute or
The
prostitute?
person is just advertising her business.
Is what?
He's she is sorry, she is advertising her business.
Business, yeah,
So, but that's not prostitution.
that is
It is a form of prostitution. Like I said, when it becomes
You
a
see what I'm
profession,
saying?
I've
you,
seen, I've seen people
yeah,
A
in
when it
the
transaction
becomes a
hasn't taken place.
No, you won't
Huh?
see it because you're not there.
No, I said until the transaction take place.
But
No,
no, it
no,
doesn't
no.
change the
Come
fact
on
of
now,
who
come on.
she is, because she's already
Co-
advertising
It-
her business.
Are you
It makes
serious?
it's just
There
an
must not be
advertisement.
there must not be a
It's
physical
just
transaction before
she-
it's called prostitution. No, don't go there.
No sex. But
No,
I mean,
no, no,
what
no,
the
no.
point of sex?
No, no, no.
She-
That's not you. Listen, if I bring a camera in front of me, yeah, and I open my leg and I let people. Haven't you seen people who have a channel, a private channel where you pay and watch some rubbish
Have
stuff?
you seen it?
Yes,
I
I have.
always get,
Why
I
you
always
ask-
get.
for me to do a talk show, I have to research. It's called researching. You
That's,
need.
that's what you've been watching all night.
I have.
Elephant.
You are silly. This guy is silly. Okay, no. Let's go into the details. You understand? So if a woman is doing, okay, let me give a good example. There are few people that are very big in nature. I don't know if you've seen those videos. They share it all the time. There's a woman I saw. She's very big in nature. She eats so much food and she sits in her bed. She can't move, and she's there recording her body with her fat body. And she put in a private site where people have to go in there and pay and watch. My brother, that's called prostitution. They don't have to come and sleep with you before it becomes prostitution. In as when you're doing something that is not good in the eyes of people, it's prostitution.
True, I agree.
I agree. Handicap does not agree, but it's okay.
You're making point. You're making a sense.
But it's true. Okay, let's move on. The next point: sex before marriage or marriage before sex.
Both.
Ah, Mr. Dixon, the pastor. So
Both.
you're saying both. Okay, explain
Both.
that.
The
So
reason
you're gonna
why-
have
I know
sex
so many people
before
hate me,
marriage, and then you're still
People will
going
hate
to.
me. I know people will hate me for saying this, but I have to be honest with you. Yeah. I'm the least person that would tell a younger guy. You understand? Oh, just because you are love struck. You understand? Just go ahead and marry that sister. I'll never tell you that. You understand? Because so many things has gone bad in this day and time that you must investigate. And when I'm talking about investigation, I'm not just talking about you sitting in your house and the girl sitting in her house. You go out, go to chicken and chip shop, eat, go back. The next day you're going to the movies. You go back. Oh boy, when you marry that person, bring them to your house. You will see a lot. I'm talking about out of experience. You understand? The reason why I said both is this: some of us, yeah, naturally are sexually active. You cannot take that away. That's human nature. All right. And in our mind, we know the kind of partner that we want. So you cannot tell me as a young girl you like a guy, all right, that knows so many angles and here and there and there, and you're going to marry a brother that only knows one angle. And when that brother enters, within
2 seconds.
4 seconds,
5
everywhere
seconds,
bust.
everything done bust.
Exactly, everywhere bust. You understand? When those two couples, you understand, get married, there will always be a problem. There will
Yeah.
always be a fight. You
Yeah.
understand? So why can't you avoid that by trying to know that person better? What I mean by knowing that person better is coming very close, and even if possible, stay with the person for few months. I'm talking about out of experience. You understand? Let me just give you a little piece of iceberg. Yeah, there's this girl I met in 2012. A lovely girl, mixed race, Igbo and Jamaica. She was highly educated. She knows practically everything about politics. All right. I loved her so much back in the day. So because she comes to my house only on Fridays, go back to school on Saturdays, I didn't really know who I was dating. I thought I've seen my wife. You understand? Until she finished her program, we now moved in together. My sister, we couldn't even live together for 3 months. I had to leave. I had to leave. I dated her for close 8 months without knowing her. All right. I didn't even know she smokes weed. I didn't know she smokes. She drinks a lot. All right. Sexually, oh boy, this girl now horse. As in, she can stand.
This guy
She
talk.
she can stand you for 2 hours non-stop.
Wow.
Did.
You
Wow.
understand? Thank God I wasn't lacking in that area.
You can
All
hear
right.
me.
But when we now moved in together, I now so many things started unveiling. All right. She loved me so much back in the day because she kept telling me, "Oh, I cannot do without you." In my mind, I've already pictured my wife. I've already planned to, engage her and whatnot. Then after staying with her for just 2 months, I realized that she was abusive. She can beat you up, and I'm not the type of guy that lays a hand on a woman. I'll just walk away. All right. The one that shocked everybody in the family was she slapped the head out of me in front of her mom
What the heck?
because I was telling her not to yell at her mom. Her mom was just trying to correct her. All right. And she went crazy. She started, throwing abuses at her mom. I'm like, look, where I come from, you don't do this thing. That was my offense.
Wow.
But because she smokes weed a lot, all right, that time she was really high. She had to hit me so hard. The mom thought I was going to kill her. I just walked away. The mom even had to call the police. Well, I told the police, no, we've resolved it and whatnot, whatnot. So that's why my mentality, my ideas towards you don't need to entangle with the person until you're married change automatically.
True.
You
I get
understand?
what you're
It's
saying.
better
Yeah,
you
he's
know
making a point. Yeah.
whom you are going to tie knots with, or else my brother forget it. You
You're
understand? And
100% right because
another point I want to raise is
yes.
in this jet and time, we have so many,
Yeah.
LGBTQWEYK,
Before
whatever,
you
whatever.
carry man,
We
this
have
is you carry man, this is a woman.
transgenders. My friend had that horrible experience. I'm telling you. You understand? He had that. He was dating this guy. No, say this guy, was born a guy until he said until they went one party. So anytime he wants to touch the this will be like, no, we have to wait till we married, that kind of a thing. Till one day my guy said, no, I must chop this thing. All right, this guy has boobs, has figure. Later, I will send you her picture or his picture. Then, then he now tried. He tried as much as he could that time, and they were playing love, and he touched this guy private part. He said he nearly collapsed. So with this little point, I'm no longer telling people, oh, don't do this. My brother, get to know whom you're about
Of
to
course, it's
marry,
But
very
to be
or
honest, you
important.
else
spoke my
you will
mind because
have
I was gonna
you
ask
have
both.
you have surprises. I'm
That's
telling you,
crazy.
in this
Wow.
jet and time, you have surprises.
That's true.
Some real facts there.
Even though it's not even this particular period that we're in, I'm going to actually go in there and test the waters. Because without testing the water and the person is not to my taste, there's going to be a problem.
Exactly. I'll go to your test. What will you do? And that time you're married already.
Yeah.
That time you're married already.
Listen, it's true. Do you know how many people in the UK are divorced because their man is not active or the woman is not active?
Are you telling me?
Because they finish, they marry an idea. People tend to just
Exactly,
marry
my
an
sister.
idea of the person, that.
Or the figure.
Yeah, they go from the physical to what, like, maybe a few things that the guy or the girl says, this person, serious, my kind of person, So they marry an idea of, who they think that person is until they actually meet the real person behind closed doors.
Gab, you're not saying anything about this.
No, I mean, I get what you guys are saying, but if I want to go by the Bible,
okay, I like this.
When God says that who we should marry, we should be the bone of our bone and the flesh of our flesh. Yeah. What I mean is that, according to the Bible, it says that no man thought towards you the thought of good, not of evil, to give you an expected end. If God gives you a girl or a guy that is not good in bed, He knows the best.
No, can I correct that?
No, let me finish you.
Let me write it down before I forget.
You understand? The point I'm trying to make here is that what if the plan, God's plan for your life is for you to live long in life, and for you to be able to live long in life, you have to be with that one person that might not be 100% complete, but it can complete you to the point that every Christian want to get to heaven. You want to be in heaven at the end of the day. You want to die and go to heaven. Then you now want to go through the short corner. Just like the Bible will say that the road that leads to heaven is so narrow.
Yeah.
Then we're not talking about the wide one, which the good sex and everything. You get that. So what we need to start thinking about is that, I'm not claiming to be a saint, don't get me wrong.
No, of course
but
not.
if we have to go through with the Bible, it's not as easy for you to think that you need to sleep with someone because if you can confirm, but the truth is that we know a lot of them are fake. We can't tell who God is. Everybody comes and you are the right person, you find out that that's not the case. But if we go by the Bible, if the Bible really says that we have the bone of our bone and the flesh of our flesh, trust me, we don't need to test. We just go on the wedding, marry the person, just hope in God and trust in God that the road will be smooth.
Okay, can I ask a question now? Because this, I totally disagree with your point. First of all, God does not choose the person for you.
Okay.
You choose your person. Mind the gap. That's why we say that
Correct.
nobody dated one person. You must have dated more than two people. Because the first person you dated, you thought it was the right person, and oh God, she has a disgusting attitude. Sorry, you move on to the next person. You date until you find the right person. Right? So let's not imagine that the first person you dated, maybe there was something you just like, but you're ignoring that bad attitude. You go, you know what? In marriage, I'm going to shape her, and you ignore that, and then you go into marriage. Not just sex, physical abuse.
Not just sex, so many things.
The woman was abusing him, even though he cannot lay his
I
hand.
think you guys misunderstand. You guys are misunderstanding me. Let me. What I'm saying is that if we go,
to the Bible.
we go, but we all know that the way if we say we want to stick to the Bible, trust me, is the hardest way to go by. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is that I'm not saying that you should. I said if, let's say, it's being confirmed that in an ideal world, that you just feel the person and you feel that, okay, this is the bone of my bone, this is the flesh of my flesh, and if God can confirm it as well. But we don't know that.
Yeah.
A lot of people get it wrong.
Yeah.
So I see where you're coming from. It's really hard, and I'm not going to be, I was born in a Christian home, but there's so many things that I don't understand about the Bible. I won't be blaspheming. But what we're saying and what you guys are saying, including Dixon, I totally agree with you guys, but it's not as easy. If we go by the Bible, strictly by the Bible, we shouldn't be sleeping before, because the Bible did not command that.
Okay, let me give you an example. I know a woman who this woman is very spiritual woman. She had a revelation, and God gave her a name. Now, it starts with a J-O. But the word she took on her head was J. So two guys came into her life, Joshua and Joseph. two guys, two potential husbands. Okay? One was spiritual, one wasn't. Listen to me. And the man that was not spiritual was a giver. He was giving all the time. But the man that was spiritual, she actually went to marry the one that was spiritual. But if I tell you how bad the marriage was, the man almost killed her. She ended in coma. It was the pastor that was saying, please leave the man. No, you will die. Marriage is not by force. So what are we saying? Even though we're saying that the Bible is saying do not. See, until you go on your knee, yeah, and you have 100% confirmation that that is from God. Don't just go into marriage like that, because you marry the wrong man. Right. He will beat you. He will abuse you. He will even kill you.
And that's why I said there's a question mark here. If we want to go by the Bible, it's hard. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we even think we're doing the right thing sometimes. You find out by going through the Bible, you find out that what you're doing is even wrong. You understand? So I'm not disputing.
I'm so sorry.
It's really difficult.
If I was single and I'm looking for a man, I'm sorry. If A is not working, I'm going to test B. I'm going to test C. Sorry, I'm not telling you guys to go and test O. I'm just being honest, because I choose to be happy than to be sad.
No, but I agree with you.
I choose to be in a peaceful home than to be in a rosy home where the man has so much money and will still abuse me physically, mentally, emotionally. As in the mental abuse will be unspeakable. I'd rather be in a place where I know that this guy, listen, I'd rather be with a man who cannot bank properly, but give me peace of mind. Just understand what I mean? He does not abuse me physically, mentally. He does not make me look as if I'm a fool, like my body's not good enough. I'd rather be in a place where the man can't even last for 10 minutes. It's okay, but he can satisfy my want. Let me tell you, the thing is that we want something outside what we want, if you understand what I mean. Sexual whatever is something that you can train somebody. You can teach people. The only thing is that is the other person willing to learn.
And this is the point I'm making. Now you're not agreeing
I understand
with me
you, yes.
that sometimes what looks too good sometimes, but good. The end of it is destruction. If you know what I mean.
True.
So the fact that you meet the girl and bang, 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 she can kill you, or you meet the guy and the guy can go 25 hours non-stop. Will that now be a criteria for you to get married to the person? And this is where we have to be careful when it comes to using sex. I believe there's loads of elements to a relationship on you making a decision before. Sex is just one of the elements.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is one.
And sex should even, and let's be honest with each other, like you said, you made a very valid point. You said even if someone is not up to the scratch, you can teach him. Yeah. So I believe sex should be the least thing that you should be looking. If you ask me that what is about love, this only thing is not, you say, how do you know you love someone? Or how do you decide if you're going to marry someone? My own definition is simple. Someone that you can tolerate.
Simple.
It's simple. Someone you can tolerate and manage.
But you know what I would say? I would say that you don't necessarily have to have sex with someone to get to know them better. Basically, so it's just a good mix.
No. Sex is just an element. It's just an element that you want to know out of curiosity. That's why you slept with the person.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. But you don't necessarily have to have sexual intercourse to keep a relationship.
Sex is one of hundreds of things.
My darling,
and even if you have to or you want to, let me just say, even if you want to, I feel like it is not and shouldn't be the main focus.
No, it shouldn't be the priority.
Yeah. It should never be. But we're in the day and age where sex is very, very important. Let me tell you why. Because if a man was to marry you and you used to be very good in bed at the time when he married you, and then later when you have first child, second child, you begin to slack and you go, oh babe, I want to sleep. I've been looking after the children this morning, but you've been at work since afternoon. Now you're back and I want to make love. I want to sleep. You keep complaining, my dear. Your guy will leave you and go outside and have it. And then the moment he gets into that young girls, young girls like exploring. They do something that you, as a housewife, will not want to do at all. Before you know it, that man don't want to come back home. That's the problem. So sex is important. Yes, you don't have to sleep around if you're single. Test every water just because you want to get the right man. Yes, but if you're married, you have to keep to that standard. If you don't keep to that standard and you're married to a man who is very active, that man would still leave you there
This is-
and go outside.
This is another reason why it's very important to be consistent in a relationship. Don't, in the beginning, don't try too hard and say, oh, I want to please this man, or I want to please this woman. Do outside yourself. Then when you now get married, expectations start going down. Let the man know you for who you are.
Simple.
And then maybe grow from there. At least you know that you're stepping up in your game, you know, according to how your relationship is. Not that, you know, oh yeah, I do this, I'm good, you know, just to gain interest of the other person.
All right, let's move on. Next point, love or money? Which one should you go for? Love or money?
Money will finish now.
Money might not finish, oh. Let's not go there. Money might not finish. If you're married to a rich man, a man that has so much money, you're not going to tell me that Beyonce will for anytime be poor.
But if
Jay-Z will anytime be poor.
but if you have that money, will it keep you happy? I don't know.
No, but answer the question: money or love?
God. Love.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Somebody like you go for love.
I will go for love.
I like that. My nigga, money or love?
Money.
Why?
Because I believe money can buy love.
And you want to buy love? But it's true, you know, money can buy
I
love.
will explain what I mean by I'll go for money. Number one, yeah. You see, when we talk about love, yeah, love fades away.
Yeah.
And it's not every love. And sometimes you think you love someone, is in the middle of challenges, yeah, that you find out if love exists or not.
Yes,
And
true talk.
Now, but what I mean by love can buy money is that when you have money, you can have everything you want. As much as the money is there, you can sustain love. You can buy money and ask someone to be pretending to love you. It's possible. If all you just need is love, I know what I'm saying might not make sense, yeah, but technically, people will say they will go for love.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, love still fail you. But when you work hard and you have your money, trust me.
I will
your
answer
hand
my
cannot fool you.
own as well. But let's hear from Dixon. Dixon, money or love? Which would you go for?
Both. You know, you hear that song where Davido
She said
sing,
you have to
say,
pick
when
one.
money enter love, love is
But you
sweet.
are cheating now, you have to pick
You
You
one.
have to
She
pick
said you have
one.
to pick one.
You
pick
can't
one.
take two.
Okay, if
And everyone
if
will
I
go
have
for
to pick
both, but
one,
you have to
like
pick
I buy what my brother just said, but at the same time, let's not forget the fact that money still comes and goes. You understand? So at the end of the day, if you ask me, I'll choose love. You understand? Because when you actually love some, or when two people love themselves, you understand? They help each other. That's why we have, you know, that's where we get companionship from. That's where we get support from. That's where we get submission from. You understand? Especially, and if you're loving, don't just love because everybody's just loving. You understand? Love someone that loved you already, that loved you first. The reason why I say that is because you hear girls say, "Oh, I love him so much," but does he really love you?
Exactly.
You understand? Because you might be loving someone, and that person you're loving is loving someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
You get
I
my
like
point.
that.
So it's something that you have to be very, very, you know, smart and technical at the same time. You understand? If you're loving, love someone, especially love someone that fears God, number one. Because if he fears God, he will not lay hands on you. He will not do things that will piss you off because he knows that if he pisses you off, he has messed up with his relationship with God. So love someone that that actually loves God and fears God. You
Okay.
understand? Then that's where to start from.
Amazing, thank you. I would 100% go for love, because I can make my own money. So if I go for your money, then the day the money is no longer there, the love is gone. If I
Well done,
love your
finish.
money and there's no money, I will make your life a living hell. Because the reason why I'm in your relationship is your money. But when I love you and there's no money, I
love
can
you
I
regardless.
can actually stand because I know I can work for myself.
We die here now. We will die here.
Yeah, that's the statement. All right, we have less than 5 minutes to round it up quickly. Manigap, can you summarize what you do for us, please? What you do for a living for us, please?
Okay, I'm a DJ, marketing consultant, and presenter, blogger, just all of the above in
So you're
show
all-round
business.
entertainer.
Yeah, but I'm known more as a DJ during the weekend, but during the week I do more of marketing consulting and content creation and all that.
Amazing. Mr. Dixon, can you tell us what you do as well in summary, please? Mr. Dixon?
I said I do a lot of things. I play drums, I sing, I play keyboard, but I'm still learning, and that's during the weekend anyway. During the days, I do what they call gate line for southwestern trains, and I do security checks for them as well. And yeah, I train children, on how to play instruments anyway. So,
You didn't talk about your dancing.
oh yeah, I forgot that one.
This guy can dance. If you're looking for a dancer, ask me.
I'm trying. I'm
You should
You
trying.
be,
cannot.
I'm trying.
you should be playing videos. And you
You're
sing.
not trying. Next time I'm going to be playing your video on the live show.
No
Oh,
wahala. Especially me and DJ will
Christiana.
work it out.
Told you last week.
No, that was last week now. Come on. What do you do, please?
Okay, I'm many things to be honest. I'm a full-time mom. I'm a blogger. I'm a music influencer via social media. So I have a playlist called Afrolit Playlist, which is for top trending music. That's obviously in the UK. It can be from Africa as well, but I would say Afro beat or beats music worldwide, as long as it's got that Afrobeat sound to it, obviously. I'm definitely all in for that. I do a little bit of A&R PR, and I'm a PA for a couple of people that I cannot really mention.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Amazing. Well, so you guys are doing very well. Mr. Dixon, can I ask you the last question before we sign out, please? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. If a lady has been searching for a very long time and can't find a man, what is the advice you can give to this person? A woman who is looking for a husband and can't find none. Advice, please.
All I can say is that the lady should work on her character, because sometimes it's character that chases guys away. You understand? You might be beautiful, you might have what it takes to be a beautiful woman, but when you lack character, you're on your own.
Amazing. So the character is what defines a woman. Okay, DJ
Yeah.
Mind the Gap. A last question for you. I like the way he's so ready for this question. DJ Mind the Gap. Between entertainment and your daily job, which one do you prefer?
Boy, entertainment is my daily job.
So I mean your
All I do is entertain people.
oh, he's a pure entertainer.
Yeah.
Don't speak to me, speak to
Yeah, that's all I do. All I do is entertainment. If I'm blogging, if I'm shooting a video, I'm writing a blog, I'm DJing, I'm entertaining, I'm producing marketing content, it has to be entertainment. And that's why I said I'm a different kind of DJ. I'm not just a DJ, I'm an entertainer.
Okay, so guys, if you want a DJ, please contact me, or please, we're going to put an information below this video if you want to reach out to DJ Mind the Gap, okay, for more information about what he does and how to reach out to him as well. Okay, Christiana, last question. Would you rather marry a tall guy or a short guy?
What kind of question is that?
That's a question, just
That's,
answer it.
what's your preference?
Average height.
What's his average?
Yeah.
Are you average?
Well,
So that
I prefer taller guys.
Okay, see, that means she has an answer to this.
Exactly. But probably she's trying to say that, but sometimes,
Yeah.
you know,
It's not really.
it's not
Not your
your
cup of
dream.
tea.
Your dream guy that you want might not be
one you
100%
get.
complete. Yeah. So, but don't settle for less. Make sure it's a tall guy. Yeah.
So go for a tall guy, because I like my tall guys. You know, you have to be tall, okay? That's how
Not
I'm
short
for the
like
party.
us, innit?
Ah, you know me, I'm short, though. The guy has to be tall. All right, again, thank you so much for joining me today. I want to say a big thank you to you as well for joining me
Thank you for
again
having
today. And DJ Mind the Gap, it's an honor to have you here. Mr. Dixon, we throw a salute. Thank you so much for joining us. I enjoyed
Dalo.
all your inputs. Thank you so much. Again, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who joined us this evening. Yes, it's been a fantastic day. The topic was amazing, relationship. We've actually dealt with many points that people will not want to touch at all. Yeah, come back next week, same time, same place. We're going to be talking about relationship again until we deal with this relationship. relationship. Sign out now. I'm your girl, Ella Patti, the Query Princess. Love you guys.
Alright.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You're watching All Stars Base, Best African Entertainment. Stay there, go nowhere.